Today, we're checking out this really nice hidden camera from Camduck. In the front, you get 4 USB ports, 2 USB-C, and 2 regular USB-A ports. Interestingly, the USB-C ports charge much slower than the USB-A ports, as you'll see later on. Behind this black cover is the hidden camera. There is no way you can see the camera whatsoever. Even at night, complete darkness, it does not emit any infrared lights. That's amazing. On the left, you got 2 plugs. 2 plugs in the back. I have no idea what this red thing is, but it's there. I thought it was a fuse, but it's not. If you know what it is, please let everyone know in the comment section below. 2 more plugs here, and on top is a power button. If you press on the power button, it will toggle on and off for all of the outlets. When it's on, you'll see a dim blue light. It's very dim, so it won't brighten your whole room. Myself, I wish they made it brighter so I know whether the power is on or off. Of course, the power button does not affect the operation of the camera at all. On the bottom, there was a cover right here. You're supposed to pop the cover open using the guitar pick that's included. Pop it open, insert your microSD card in, and you are ready to go. In the middle of the microSD card slot is a reset button, and there are 2 status lights which you won't obviously see when the cover is closed. Also included is the manual. I have to say, the manual has improved substantially. It's much easier to understand, and a micro USB card reader is included. You have to buy your own micro SD card. The cord itself is about 4.5 feet long. It's pretty nice that the cord is bent flat and out to the side. If the ground plug is facing downwards, then this will be out of the way to the right hand side. It's very considerate of Camduck to have it like that. Here's a $20 bill for size comparison so you can see how small it is or how big it is. Overall, it's not too big, but it's not tiny. The whole thing is very discreet. It's supposed to rest on your desk, but you can put it anywhere really. Let's take a closer look at the USB ports. It is 5 volts up to 3.1 amp. I should mention that the power button on the top does not affect the USB plug, and that's good. You can always power up your desktop or laptop, power on, power off, but it does not affect the USB plugs. Even though there's 4 USB ports, only 3 can be used at a time. I don't know what would happen if you plug all 4 devices into the USB ports. The manual says that it can only power up to 3 devices, not 4. Let's do a quick test with the USB-A ports. Here, I got my USB power meter plugged in. You can see that it's charging the phone at 1.8 amp, 5.2 volts. It goes from the USB meter to my phone. If we try to do this with the USB-C port, it will be a lot slower, around 0.5 amp. Let's do it right now. Here we got the USB meter plugged into the USB port, USB-C ports. Kind of interesting that we're only getting 0.5 amp, which is a lot slower. Who knows, maybe in the next version they will have it up to 20 amp. That would be really nice, so you can charge your laptop too. For now, if you want to charge your laptop, you gotta use the outlets. To set up the camera, you have to download this app. It's called Camduck. Open it up. In the upper right hand corner, press on the plus icon to add the camera. Click on Enable Location. Turn on your GPS, apps permission. These are the apps allowed to use the GPS. Mine is the Camduck one. It's allowed already. Let's go back to the camera app. Here are all of our choices. If you want to view it remotely, then click on the first option. If you want to view it when you are close by, then click on the second option, the bottom option. Remote monitoring, the first option, means that you can view it from another location, another house. Close range is when you are within the house, for instance, or at my work office where I'm not allowed to have any devices on my company's Wi-Fi and access points, in which case I will bind my phone directly to the hidden camera. By the way, if this video is helpful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. This lets YouTube know my video is indeed helpful and will recommend it to others like yourself. For this demo, I'll choose Remote Monitoring Settings. We're going to select the upper right-hand corner. Make sure that your tablet or phone that you are using to set up supports 2.4 GHz because the unit itself is only 2.4 GHz during the setup process. Click on OK. Verify your Wi-Fi network as well as your Wi-Fi password, and then click on OK. Now is a good time to plug the camera into the outlet to power it up. Click on OK. Click OK. Remove the bottom cover to see the status lights. I can see the red light is solid and the blue light is blinking blue. That's the option you want the blue light to be flashing and then turns off by itself. Select if blue lights flash on until off. Now let's connect it to the Wi-Fi of the camera. Select the access point that starts with Camduck. The password will be Camduck66. Click on Connect. It's going to let you know that this access point does not have internet, and that's okay. We can just stay connected. Click on the first option. Let's go back to the app to complete setup. Click on Add In. It looks like it was able to add in. Now we're going to select the play button. If you want to change the quality of the video, tap on the 1080p and then tap on 4K. Wow, that looks so much better. Click on Max to view full screen. The interface is pretty much standard on all of the Camduck hidden camera as seen in all my previous video here, here, and here. Click photo icon if you want to snap a photo and save to your phone. Click on record to start recording to your phone as well. If you go into album, you'll see whatever you just recorded or snapped earlier. Click on the SD card to see all of the files stored recorded on the SD card. Right now there's nothing because I just started the camera. Let's go into the upper right hand corner into the three dots and see what's going on there. Here we can change the name. I'm going to give it desktop. Click on the checkbox once you are satisfied. Engineering mode. Click on OK. Strange that it doesn't seem to do anything different whether I enable engineering on or off. Wi-Fi to change the Wi-Fi settings in case you move to another house or something. Network information. This is the camera's IP address if you're curious or you want to block it from the internet. Sadly, this camera does not have RTSP nor OnViv to work with any NVR or other apps. Camera information. You've got the firmware version, the camera's name, ID, and MAC address. Recording status. If you want it to be loop, meaning that it will record 24/7, or you only want it to record when motion is detected. This is the restore factory setting in case you want to reset the whole thing completely back to factory default. Overall, this camera is pretty easy to set up, right? Let's turn off the light to see how it looks in the darkness. Truly impressive that there is no light coming out of the camera, not even infrared. It's completely dark in the room. Well, almost completely dark in the room except for the light bar. Somehow the image still comes through pretty clear. There's no way you can tell that the camera is on with night vision. Is the video quality truly 4K? Well, this is what it looks like when you insert the microSD card to view it on the desktop. Double click on the folder. Open the date you want. Then by the hour, choose a file. I'm using VLC. If we go into the codec tab, you can see that the video resolution of this is actually 1080p and not 4K. I have no idea how to get it to record in 4K. I'm not sure if it's my mistake or if it's a marketing gimmick. Audio is also recorded and it's actually pretty good. The mic is very sensitive. Alright, hopefully you found this video review helpful. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and thanks for watching.